Good morning and welcome to Norcal APEX Accelerator's introductory training, How to Do Business in the Government. My name is Amanda Anderson. I'm the program coordinator for Norcal APEX Accelerator. And I'm joined today by Liz Brazil, one of our fantastic procurement specialists. Now, before we get into the bulk of this presentation, I do want to let everybody know a little bit about APEX Accelerator and how Norcal APEX Accelerator can help you with government contracting. Liz, do you want to try that next slide?
For some reason, I don't have control.
Okay, we'll go ahead and pivot and I'll control the slides. We'll work that out on another time.
Okay.
Fantastic. So, APEX Accelerator program, what is it? So the APEX Accelerator program is a federally mandated program built to help small businesses and large businesses with government contracting. We provide education and training to ensure that you're capable of participating at every level of government, from maybe selling to your local school districts to maybe selling to the GSA or getting products on those schedules. We can help from the smallest business with the smallest local goals to the largest business who's looking to win big at a federal level. And with over 96 APEX accelerators nationwide, whether you're in California or even in our Northern California service area, you can absolutely get connected with an APEX accelerator who can help you. And the best part, all of these resources, all of this assistance, including our trainings, are available at absolutely no cost. That's part of the federal mandate. The government wants to do business with you, and we're here to provide the assistance so that you can do business with them. But specifically, I want to talk a little bit about Norcal APEX Accelerator. So we service the coastal Northern California counties that you see in front of you, and we're able to offer our services to any businesses that's located within those counties. So our services that we offer are our one-on-one counseling, where you can meet one-on-one with a procurement counselor, just like Liz Brazil, and they can help you with the specific issues and hurdles that you're experiencing with government contracting. Whether that's a really tricky SAM registration, or maybe you're putting in your first proposal and really want someone to help review and make sure you're hitting all those marks. Having a procurement specialist in your corner can be invaluable to your government contracting goals. Another fantastic service that we offer is our custom bid matching program. Now, this is a program that we actually pay for through our funding and offer to all of our clients at absolutely no cost. And what this does is it allows you to set up an account with your procurement specialist that defines keywords such as the location you want to perform work in or the location you can ship products to. Or maybe you're looking to provide something very specific as a product. That's what you can make, you're manufacturing that. That would be a keyword. And your counselor, your procurement specialist, can help you define keywords that are specifically relevant to your goals. And this software scrapes local, state, and federal procurement sites to find opportunities related to those keywords, those opportunities that you're looking for, and it'll email them directly to you. It takes a lot of the legwork out of finding these opportunities, which is absolutely fantastic. And our third main service is resources and trainings, which you're actually taking advantage of right now. We put on a ton of webinars through the year at absolutely no cost. And the best part is, you don't even have to be in our service area or even in California to attend. These trainings and webinars are presented online virtually so that they can be viewed not only multiple times, which is why we love recording them, but they can be viewed by anyone across the country who's looking for this information, which we absolutely love. We're here to educate. And through that, we've also built out an extremely robust website with a ton of links and resources that can help you with anything from public works contracting to maybe some relevant advice from our procurement specialist about government shutdowns and how that would affect your business and contracting. So if you haven't signed up for our newsletter, if you haven't checked out our website, making these connections to take advantage of all of these free resources is always something I recommend. But if you are within our service area, please do feel free to sign up for that one-on-one counseling and to set up your bid match profile. Maybe you're not in our service area. I know we got a couple folks who are from out of the area. That's not a problem at all. Like I said, APEX Accelerator is a nationwide network. So even if you may not be able to work with us, you can absolutely connect with your local center and get that free government contracting assistance. And that assistance can look anything like getting your certifications, reviewing your capability statements, or maybe you need to see, is like our government agencies actively buying your products, doing that market research to see if your time is going to be worth it. Or maybe you're looking to connect with a prime contractor as a subcontractor. We can help with anything related to government contracting. So there's absolutely no reason to not sign up for services. And with that, I will go ahead and pass it off to Liz for the main presentation.
Okay, I'm just going to check to make sure it works, and it does now. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I know it's very nice and sunny in Alameda County. As Amanda had mentioned, I am a procurement specialist with Norcal APEX Accelerator. There are 7 counselors available with approximately 35 years experience working with government agencies. My experience is I have worked with Bay Area Rapid Transit, the Alameda County Transportation Commission, and also Santa Clara Valley Transportation Authorities. These agencies are actually considered as local agency partners because of the funding we receive from the federal, the state level. We help them administer their projects and programs. This webinar is designed to provide you with an overview of the unique advantages of government contracting. Learn to be ready to work with government agencies and understand the funding source that dictates the procurement processes. It will cover many aspects needed before you start approaching these government agencies. Marketing to government agency provides a tremendous opportunity for small businesses. In order for small businesses to succeed, you must understand the specific needs of the agency and be prepared to offer sensible, cost-effective solutions. My biggest takeaway for you is to learn the basics of doing business with government agencies. Learn how to grow your business into a multi-million-dollar business. So let's get started. I don't know why, but for some reason, okay. So the common industries for government contracting mainly is public works, architectural engineering, and construction. We also have professional services, and the government buys everything, office supplies, janitorial. They even have IT, medical suppliers, transportation, logistics, fire suppression, everything that you can think of is a part of the government agency. If you look at it, there's cities and counties and special districts like schools. We also have in the counties, we have hospitals, you have juvenile. So all of those have all kinds of needs that they need to buy or provide us a service. The less common industries are something that's federally illegal, like cannabis. Restaurants, even though some of the agencies do purchase food from restaurants for their openings, it's very unlikely. In my 35 years, we've never procured anything with bars. So we did have some entertainment, again, as part of the groundbreaking opening. Well-being, holistic health. Believe it or not, this is starting to come up, especially with the recent things happening in the workplace. So you just never know. I still have a client that provides counseling for people who stressed out with their work, their jobs. So it's something that's coming up. Clothing, it's less common, but we do have government agencies like CAL FIRE that provides clothing and uniforms and hats and so on. Luxury items, again, we're a government agency and we have to be very mindful of how we spend your tax dollars. So those are considered less common. So next. Okay, this is a sample one from the Pelican Bay State Prison, and they purchased mostly everything from armory supplies to clothing to data processing to office supplies, feeding supplies, food, everything you can think of because they're a little community and anything of their needs, they will purchase. So if you see something here that you offer from your business, it may be a good way to start marketing and reviewing who buys what. As a procurement specialist, we can actually go through our database and search who buys whatever items that you're selling, or look into what type of services that you can provide to these agencies. Now, there's many different ways that you can participate. A lot of the contracts for public works are multi-million dollars, but there's a lot of local, which is the cities, counties, special districts, and also federal and state that have smaller contracts, and some contracts set aside for small business. So you can either participate as a prime or work with a subcontractor to fulfill the contract. So you don't have to do 100%. You can sub out a portion of your work. Now, what portion it is, sometimes it can be even, you perform 40%, while a sub can perform, or a multiple subs can perform the rest. Okay. Now, are you ready for success? Are you ready for government contracting? This is really a best way to either join the Small Business Development Center or go through when you're ready for contracting to go to Norcal APEX Accelerators. There's a couple of things. And again, as a procurement specialist, I have to work with established business, a business that has a business plan that includes government contracting. You have to have financial stability because a majority of the time, especially for public works, is that you have to have insurance and bonding. Past performance, were you able to complete your project? Because If you were terminated for cause or for some reason, that can affect the history of your sales, okay? Because you were not able to complete or perform the work that you were contracted to do. Market research, a lot of times, look and even ask for assistance to do market research. Find out who's buying what you're selling, right? And that is very important. And the last thing is e-commerce. If you don't have a website today, you're missing out. And if you do have a website, we do have some recommendations. If you're selling to the private sector or the public sector, have a government tab in your website to be included. Okay, how to get started. Apply for APEX Accelerator assistance, and as I mentioned, we will help you, with one-on-one counseling, market research, and everything that Amanda had mentioned earlier. We can help you do that. Target your agencies, right? Know who your prospects are. A lot of times, a lot of these agencies do have a look-ahead contracts. And by studying and knowing who you're selling to is really important, because a majority of times their contracts are renewed annually. If they're not, they will tell you if it's 1 to 3 years. It's a great way. And also, if they have a tendency to purchase your materials or products, then this is the agency that you must work with. Get to know the buyers, the contract administrators, and reach out to them. And later on, also, as I mentioned, we can help you find those agencies. The next thing is know the type of services that you provide. There's a North American Industry Classification System or United Nations Supplies and Products Codes. Now, by identifying which type of materials or services that you provide, it will help the government agency when they're searching for small businesses or certified disadvantaged business enterprise, local business, and so on. So that also comes in to the certification, right? And by knowing what type of service that you provide, it will help you register. By registering to the local, the state, or the federal will help you determine the growth that you will have. So in here, the state has the marketplace called CalEProcure.gov. You can create an account. And when you create an account, you can also get certified as small business. And that's where you have to identify the UNSBSE code that you need. Now, if you want to work on a federal project, on a federal government, then you must register with SAM. If you are not registered with SAM, you're wasting your time. By registering with SAM, you'll get a unique entity ID and a cage code. We can help you, walk you through the process, but we also have some webinars that will assist you in how to set up and update your information on SAM. Now, when you complete your SAM registration, you will have your data transferred to the Small Business Administration Dynamic Small Business Search. In there, a local agency or any of the primes can enter by NIC codes, by location, by type of services, by keywords. So it's important that you have your capability narrative completed, your keywords, past performance in your small business dynamic search. Now, the next thing is capability statement. A lot of people wonder what capability statement, and I'll go more in details in the next couple of slides, but basically it's a resume for your business, okay? And the next thing is, as I mentioned, if you are going to sell to the government or anybody else, it's good to have a website. And if you're going to have a website, make it government friendly. That means they can just click and have a tab just for government and also include your capability statement. Okay. Now, certification is very important, whether it's science or socioeconomic certifications. The state of California has small business. They even have small business micro, small business for public works, and disabled veteran business enterprise. If you create an account, then there's a tab there that says Get Certified. Review all of the documentation required, and then click on Apply. It takes normally from 35 minutes to an hour, depending on the complexity of your business. But it's a great way to actually learn about the different types of services that you can provide and also the different types of certifications that would apply. The state of California have a 25% a small business goal. And it's very helpful to know that because there's a lot of projects specifically for small business. And then the next thing is the federal certifications. You can get self-certified as a small business by registering through SAM. There's also a certification for women-owned. This one requires that you get certified with SBA or through a third party. It takes 90 days and it's a very lengthy process, but at the end, you can get your women-owned small business certification. Similar to veteran-owned, there's also a federal certification for that. Hub zone is very important. It's for historically underutilized business zone. And if you go into the Norcal PTAC website, we can assist you in finding out if you are eligible for the Hub Zone certification. And we also have the 8A program in there. So for more information, we can help you with that. The Disadvantaged Business Enterprise is a federal certification with the Department of Transportation. So any of the transportation agencies within the state of California has that program. Other states also have the program, and it could be managed by their transportation authority, or it could be managed by anyone receiving federal funding. So in the state of California, we have approximately 8 certifying agencies, which includes Caltrans, SFMTA, SamTrans, Santa Clara VTA, BART, and many other ones. And there's an eligibility requirement specifically for this program. You have to belong to a socially and economic disadvantaged group, including women. And also we have one who doesn't belong to that, they can actually get Appendix E to get individually certified as a disadvantaged business enterprise. Okay. There's a lot of certification, and again, reach out to your counselor and we can help you with that. Local contracting. And as I mentioned, there's 3 different types of contracting. There's local, there's state, and there's federal. Local contracting is a great way to get your feet wet. Local means city, the county, school districts, and as I mentioned, transportation agencies is included in the local contracting. It helps you gain performance with contracting. And to me, I feel that this is less complex in terms of procurement documents that you would see in a state or federal. The federal has the Federal Acquisition Regulations, and the state has the California Contracting Code. Some of these local agencies have to also have those regulations, but they're not as complex. Typically, the way I have this is that instead of having the federal and the state where you only register once, local contracting is you have to register with each city, each county, or any of the special districts that you are interested in. It's a little bit more cumbersome, but still, if you register, you would not automatically get notified if there was any contracting opportunities available to you. And some of these also have their own local business preference. So for example, in San Francisco, you can get certified as a local business enterprise. In projects where they're receiving local funds, they can impose the local business certification. Alameda County Transportation Commission, where I used to work, has not only local business, but they have small local business. And I believe the county of Alameda also have small local emerging business. So take a look at those. We have a link in our Norcal website for all the procurement agency websites. Well, not all, but majority of it. Okay, as I mentioned before, we also have capability statement. It's really important that if you are planning to work with a government agency, you have a capability statement. Just like when you have a resume, you're looking for work, and your employer will ask you, what is your resume? Your resume will describe your skills, your education, your experience, and so on. And this is also important for your business. Normally, it's a one-page resume. You can have two if you have a lot of information, but I would not recommend more than two. You can create multiple versions depending on your target agency, just like you would do if you were applying for a job, right? What to include? You can have a brief paragraph about your business. If you were in business for 10, 15 years, you're a small business, you can put that in the paragraph. We can help you craft it if you want to. Your core competencies, dig down in what you actually do, okay? What makes you different from other businesses? Your key clients, your past performance, and also your codes and certification. That's why I say it's always important to do some search of what type of codes you actually do and provide as a service. Your contact information, website, and photos. Photos is always nice, you know. It describes the projects that you are involved in, and also it's nice to have photos. We have a pre-recorded webinar webpage on our website. We also have a sample template. Just like a resume, there's many different types of formats. So you can download the template, and if you want to revise it, you're more than welcome to do that. Okay. Okay. Oops. Contracting ready website. As I mentioned before, a lot of times small business right now will have a website. And if you don't, you should really consider having one. Website is updated and is very relevant to whatever service or product that you offer. And if you are going to offer government contracts, have a tab that says government contracts, okay? And include a copy of your capability statement. I always tell people, it's very important that when you reach out to a buyer or contract administrator, it's a great opportunity to tell them about your business and also attach a capability statement. Any registrations and certifications should be included. Your codes, again, the North American Industry Classification System and the United Nations. The reason I always bring this two up is one is for everyone is federal, and the state uses the United Nations Products and Supplies Code. So that's how it's different between the two. It's always good to highlight your most recent project because your best marketing is actually your last project. Your past performance and history of sales is always good to include. And you got to make sure it's easy to navigate. I've seen some of the clients where it took us a while to get to where the government tab was and to get a listing of all of the products that they can provide. So make it easy, don't make it difficult. And as I mentioned, a lot of local agency attend networking. And when you do provide them with your capability statement and your information about your website, it's always good to make it easy for them. Okay. The intent here is to make it memorable so that the next time they hear your business name or next time they meet you, they'll remember. Okay. Here's another example of website. It's really important that, that only did they mention that they're GSA contract holder, but also highlight their codes. And the clients too, if it's acceptable to include their logos, it's really important. It's easy to see, hey, you know what? The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers had been their client. Marketing to the government. Believe it or not, a lot of times when you're meeting with a client, ask them if they have a marketing plan. And they'll ask you, what is the marketing plan? Now, a lot of times is you have to develop a marketing strategic plan to target agencies or primes of what you sell or what type of service that you provide, right? Because your main intent here is to make profit. And you have to know how to best market it to get some profit. Network and establish relationships. It's very important that you do meet some of these agencies and let them know about your business. In addition to the capability statement, you may want to reach out to them from time to time. Now, there's a small business liaison that's provided by Caltrans, but also the state, the California state has small business liaison officers, and we have a copy of those. So if you want to reach out to them, your counselor should be able to provide you with those support and resource. It's always good also. People say, how do I find out about primes and other businesses that I can team up with? And I would say, go to a pre-proposal or pre-bid meeting, especially if it's mandatory, because you will know that these are the people who's intending to bid on a project, right? Because it's mandatory. And this is a great opportunity to introduce yourself to a prime contractor or other businesses. Because even though this may not work out, at least you get to meet the prime contractors because they're very likely to be the same primes bidding on other projects. So if they have an opportunity to include you, especially if you are certified small business or disadvantaged business enterprise or local business, to help them with their bids or proposals, they'll include you, right? So know your value and introduce yourself and team up. Attend expos, matchmakers, conferences. Expos are nice because you have all of these agencies in one area. Matchmakers could be either in person or it could be through virtual, but at least you get a one-on-one meeting with the local agency or prime contractor. And best of all, participate in training because you have an opportunity to meet with other businesses. And I heard earlier there was somebody from Caltrans District 11 attending here, right? So you have the opportunity to meet with them and ask them questions. Social media, LinkedIn, not too much into social media, but I know my kids have been very involved. In fact, they found jobs using LinkedIn. So I do recommend getting into those. And also, as I mentioned before, small business representatives, we have liaison officers from Caltrans and also other agencies within the state of California. And if you are registered in SAM, look up the SBA Small Dynamic Business Search because that's one way that agency will look for you and search for your business. If you don't have your keywords, you don't have your capability narrative, ask your Norcal APEX counselor, how can I update those information? And we'll provide you with guidance and instructions how to create an SBA account and how to update your information. You took a long time and a lot of effort to register in SAM. You might as well make sure that that information is carried correctly in the dynamic small business search, okay? Where to find bid opportunities? This is a great one because there's so many areas. Local agency websites, right? But if you are registered with that local agency at the time that they advertise that project, you will be automatically notified. If you have your NIC codes, your keywords, they will match those and send you a notification. And we do have the local agency website to register in our website at Norcal APEX Accelerator. The only thing is that, I would recommend that you put together a spreadsheet because for me, especially, it's very difficult to remember the username and password. And if you have to update your information, for example, you found an additional code, you have to go in there and update that. So make sure that you have somewhere in your document that you say, put in your user ID and your password. Now, unlike the local agency websites, the state California have approximately 150 agencies and you only register once in Cal eProcure. So once you register, and if you are certified small business, you will automatically get notification from the state. It will match your UNSPSC code. They'll match your keywords. They can even match the location or the area you'd like to work in. They can match the department or agency and so on. So it's very important that if you want to find bid opportunities that you register with Cal APEX. Now, as I mentioned, SAM contracting opportunities. Once you are registered with SAM, you can search for contracting opportunities. But guess what? Norcal APEX also provide you with bid matching, right? So if you provide us with the keywords, your codes that you want to look into, it could automatically search SAM or other state and local agencies and bring that information to you via email. What's a better way to just open up an email and see all these contracting opportunities, and you can decide which ones you want to pursue and which ones you just say, you know what, this is not worth the time or effort, or maybe, you know, there's some requirements there that you're not eligible for. So that's a great way. We also have Acquisition Gov, which is a procurement forecast. So that's another way. And also for public works, join some of your builders exchange, because they can provide you with some contracting opportunities in your area. And in addition, they also provide you with assistance reading the specifications and plans. And that's something very important, because sometimes if you can only do a certain portion of it, you may want to have somebody review that with you before you contact the prime contractor, right? So understanding your portion of work and how you can help deliver the prime contractor's project, it would really assist them. And those are bid opportunities, but there's other ones also. Some of my clients also use Instant Market, which provides you with notification, and you can do it by service, by area. And again, you know, we can help you and assist you with those. In summary, these are some of the 10 steps to have a successful government contracts. Okay? And we can help you review it as a counselor. You know, first thing is determine if you're ready for government contracting. A lot of times people don't realize, you know, there's certain requirements for each type. For example, if you want to get into public works, you know, there's certain things that you have to remember is, do you have the insurance and bonding? Are you registered with the Department of Industrial Relations? And so on. So those are things that you have to really look into if you're ready for government contracting. A lot of times too, people are selling to the government don't realize that sometimes it takes 30 days or longer to get paid. So take a look at those. Apply for APEX Accelerator services. Again, as Amanda mentioned, we're free. There's no cost. You can have as many meetings with us and discuss many different types of topics. From the time that we get you registered, certified, do market research, find contracting opportunities, to reviewing contracts, to submitting contracts. And even after you're awarded, we can also assist you with your contracts to make sure that you're in compliance. A lot of questions I have is that, how do we submit certified payrolls? We can help you get through that. We have a getting started checklist on our website, so take a look at those when you have time. Get certified. If you're eligible, get certified. A lot of people don't realize that there are certain areas like the hub zone. If they are already registered with SAM, they can also get hub zone certified. And there's many other things. As I mentioned, the state has small business, local, agencies have their own local business enterprise, small local business enterprise, and so on. Create your capability statement, because if you don't, it's almost like looking for a job without a resume. The first thing an agency will ask you is, do you have your capability statement? And you want to be able to say, here it is. Update your website, because that's another arm of your marketing, right? So make sure that you have your marketing strategic plan, including your website. Network, build relationships, and market your business. You know, networking goes a long way, believe me. Locate bid opportunities. You have opportunities, as I mentioned here. Bid match is one of them, but there's many other ones, like registering with public agencies. And, you know, if you were not awarded a contract and you failed, try again. But the best thing about it is when you submit a contract, you have opportunities for debriefing. That means you can ask them. Ask them, what was my strengths? How did I do relating to the criteria of the selection process? And learn from it, right? You don't want to keep failing because you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. And in some cases too, if the contract was awarded prior, you can ask for California Public Records Act or FOA, the Federal Information Act, and get as much information about the prior contract that was awarded. And our main goal is to help you win government contracts, right? So hopefully, these are some of the steps that we recommend for success. As I mentioned before, there's 7 procurement specialists with Norcal APEX Accelerator, and we have an average of 35 years working with government agencies. I think this is the end. So
Yeah,
if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A. And Amanda?
absolutely. And thank you so much, Liz, for that presentation. It's a lot of information, but it's all just setting the best foundation you could have to begin government contracting on. So it's all very important. And that is why we will get you the recording and slides within a week. So please be aware that you will definitely be getting those. And we'll go ahead and go into some of these awesome questions you guys have been asking. So the first one I have from an anonymous attendee, can nonprofits work as government contractors?
I believe our contract grant agreement indicates that it has to be for profit.
Yes. So that's for our services, unfortunately, due to the way our funding is written and the way it's processed, we're unable to help nonprofits. That's not someone we can offer assistance to yet. We are hoping that will change very soon. But have you heard of any nonprofits getting contracts with like government agencies, Liz? Is that a possibility?
I'm not familiar with that because a lot of the requirements, even for SAM registration, is you have to be for profit.
Yeah.
But I can inquire with other counselors what their experience is.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, nonprofits are in this weird kind of sector of like they absolutely could be responding to these contracts and helping society and these agencies. But I think we're not quite sure how to integrate that yet. And it is moving forward at this government pace, but it is moving forward. Unfortunately, we don't have a solid yes or no for that. And then I had another anonymous attendee ask if there are any restrictions for green card holders when compared to a U.S. citizen.
So these are naturalized citizens, and they are considered a U.S. citizen, right? If I do apologize, I'm not familiar with green card, but if green card is not a U.S. citizen, then they are not able to apply to some of the programs.
Yeah. So there are definitely some hiccups and hurdles and restrictions that you may experience as a green card holder, but it doesn't completely negate you from getting into government contracting. It's still possible. It's just unfortunately going to be a little bit more difficult, it sounds like. Fantastic. And I see in chat, Alameda CTC actually does contract with nonprofits such as Bike East Bay. So confirmation from our fantastic agency partners. Thank you so
Yes.
much for being here. Nonprofits absolutely can. It's just a matter of finding those opportunities. Oh, and the green card holder question was clarified. It's called a U.S. permanent resident, if that clarifies anything.
I'm not, I have to look that up.
Absolutely. And this is a great question. It's very good to know all of this information before you really put all of your work and energy behind it. And that's where you can connect with your local APEX Accelerator to have your counselor really look in depth to figure out if it's going to be worth the time and effort or if it's just going to be all struggle, no profit. So that's where the one-on-one counseling can really shine, is with very nuanced and very complex situations like a US permanent resident. Another great question that we get quite often, and actually have a couple of folks asking, is related to how much revenue you need to start government contracting. So, Liz, could you speak to what you would recommend revenue-wise, financially-wise, and like in the business phase of when they should start government contracting?
I have some clients who was working for the private sector and they decided to open up their own business with little or no earnings yet. So, they got started by signing up and creating an account with SAM, signing up with Cal eProcure, getting certified, because you don't have to have any earnings to get certification. And they were able to get this California small business and also the disadvantaged business enterprise. And they use that as part of their marketing strategic plan, that they are certified small business and disadvantaged business enterprise. And they were able to find work. So I would not limit myself that you don't have any earnings. A lot of small businesses have to start somewhere, right? So, and we can help you with your registrations and your certifications and slowly build up for that.
Absolutely. And I think one of the cautions that I hear often from our procurement specialists and from our intake coordinator is to remember that if you do perform on a contract, you won't be paid immediately. You won't be paid on the last day that you perform the work. It does take processing time that can take 30 days to 3 months. And so a lot of cautionary things that folks are told is make sure that your company can weather that 3 months without being paid. That is really a defining feature that I've heard around the office, is just making sure that you can cover that payment period for your companies, cover all your overhead and that kind of thing. Fantastic. And then we are getting quite some great questions, guys. I adore all of these. Danny was asking, he has a virtual business address and has been trying to get registered in SAM since 2020. Would you be able to give any advice or ways to kind of remedy that?
It's so difficult that if you don't have a physical address, I haven't had a client get registered, and they were using PO Box, which is not acceptable. And then they got into this like a community type of use, like WeWork. Unfortunately, when they tried to register, there was multiple businesses located in the same address, so it was not permissible. And then I had another client who was renting a house and wanted to use that address. And again, unless you have in your agreement, in your lease agreement, that you can use that as a business, sometimes those are not permissible either. So I do understand the difficulty. We are not part of SAM. We only assist in the registration. And unfortunately, you must have a physical address in order to register in SAM. And also, even though the Secretary of State will accept PO Box, it's not acceptable in SAM, and it would be difficult to get your business validated. So I'm sorry, Danny. I don't think there's any changes to that right now.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Liz. And then we had a couple more, and we do have about 2 minutes left. We're going to try and get through these. Do we help startups who are looking for their first contract, Liz?
Yes, we sure do.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. And again, we will do an assessment of your business to make sure that you have everything that you need. Just like as I mentioned, you can bid on a federal project, but if you're not registered in SAM, they will not even consider your proposal. So we can help you review a lot of the things to make you ready for government contracting. So sign up with Norcal APEX. And again, as Amanda and I mentioned, it's free. You can have as many meetings as you need and, take advantage of it.
Absolutely. And that question is a great lead into quite a few questions we got about how to connect with APEX Accelerator and how to get in on that one-on-one counseling. So quite a few folks asked, I love that you guys want to connect and I want to help you connect. So how can you get connected with APEX Accelerator? I will go ahead and post a link to find your local APEX Accelerator. If you are not within our Northern California service area, you can go ahead and go to that website and find your local center to connect. But if you are within our Northern California counties, you can go to our website, norcalptac.org, and you can go ahead and click on the big red Apply Now button in the top right page of the page. And you'll fill out a very brief application, kind of giving us information about where you are with your business and your revenue and your government contracting journey. And our 3 qualifications is that you have to have a business. Unfortunately, we are unable to help develop business ideas for government contracting. We do have resources that can help with that. And you have to be within our service area and wanting to government contract. As long as you have a business, you're looking to government contract, and you're within our service area, you can sign up for services today and meet with a counselor as soon as next week even. So if you're looking to get in with these resources or connect with a different center, please do. And with that, we are right at 11 o'clock. So I will go ahead and wrap it up. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We are so glad and had so many great questions. And it was just a great educational opportunity. And honestly, I adored all the questions we got. How about you, Liz?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Liz, for your presentation. It's always a delight presenting with you.
Thank you very much.
And just as a brief note, as you exit the webinar, you'll be redirected to our feedback survey. If you have a moment, we always enjoy hearing your feedback, whether it's positive or negative. We love to improve based on your feedback because we do all these trainings for you. We want to make sure that you're getting the most out of them, and we won't know if you are until you tell us. So with that, thank you all again so much for being here, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.
Bye, you guys.